I'm Jason and this is Level Up Hobbies. Today we're continuing our contrast painting series where I take a model, paint it up to parade ready standards using contrast paints and highlights. And today we're going to be working on a Night Lord's Chaos Space Marine. So we're going to try to get a deep blue with lightning arcing across those armor panels. Sit back, relax, let's get painting. Enjoy. Okay, we've got a Night Lord's Chaos Marine here, and I've went ahead and I've primed him black with some Vallejo black surface primer. Now I'm going to give him a zenithal highlight with Corax white. Okay, so we've got this Night Lord, got the zenithal highlight on it, and now we're going to be adding some color, and for that we're using Leviathan blue, and then I thin this blue down just a little bit with some contrast medium. The first layer of the, the Leviathan blue is dry, and I think I'm going to go ahead and add a second coat on there. I just don't think that's dark enough for him, so we'll go ahead and start adding that. Second coat of Leviathan blue on there, and I think it is looking sufficiently more Night Lord. So we'll let that dry and then we'll move on to the next steps. I'm gonna go ahead and paint all of the black pieces, which is really just the parts of the bodysuit that he's wearing in black. So for that, we're using Black Templar. I mean, previously I've painted these parts in like Corax White or Gray Sear, but really for the black, you don't need to, because it will still cover, and then as it runs down into the recesses and leaves that highlight, you'll have that hint of color in the highlight. So it's really nice about the black, is it still turns it black, but then you have that bluish highlight on there. I'm doing all these black parts now because I'm going to go in and do the leather and the trim in just a few minutes, so I don't want to mess any of that up trying to get in here with this black. I think this one model has the most exposed parts of the bodysuit of any of them I have painted so far. Alright, so we're going to take and we're going to put some of those classic Night Lord's lightning bolts across the armor, and for that I'm going to use Fenrisian Gray and then White Scar, and then the Fenrisian Gray will just be the initial kind of initial lightning bolt line, and then the White Scar will just intensify parts of that. Okay, and it doesn't have to be, you know, perfect. Lightning bolts aren't straight; they bounce around. I want to thin this out just a little bit. I don't want the gray, the blue part, to be super intense. And you can just kind of move and roll your brush however you want. And the more layers you put on it, the brighter it's going to be. So you can have just little
faint ones, you can have some really bright ones. And I mean, this method here, you can use this for power swords also, power weapons. Okay, this one be a little brighter. Now we're gonna do the white, and we don't want to cover everything we just did. We just want to brighten up a couple points on that lightning bolt. I'm gonna go in and base all of the leather pieces in Wraithbone. We're now going to go through and paint the belt and tabard in Guilliman flesh. Nothing like having a good old skin belt. Hold up your pants there. This in this case is combat knife and grenades. Right now I'm going to paint the weapons with Black Templar. I was originally going to do the weapons in red, but I decided to keep the other colors to a minimum. So I'm going to pop some other red in here somewhere else. Okay, so the tabard is dry, and the belt. Now what I'm going to do is highlight that leather, that flesh leather. I guess all leather is flesh, so that didn't make sense. That human flesh leather, there we go, with some pallid witch flesh. And now highlight the black with Administratum Gray. Alright, we're going to go ahead and paint the silver pieces. We're going to base those in Leadbelcher. So now we're going to pick out a few details on this model here, like the handle wrap of the dagger, and then this little tassel over here, and the trim on his helmet, and we're going to paint all of those in Flesh Tearers Red. We're going to go through and highlight the red with Wild Rider. Okay, now we're going to go through and paint all of the trim, and for this I'm using 2 parts Retributor Armor and 1 part Screaming Bell. I think the Retributor was just a little too yellow, and adding that Screaming Bell, it kind of just changes it a little bit, makes it more of an orangish gold. Gonna hit all the trim with this. So we've got all this trim that's all bright and shiny and new. So what we want to do is like take that down, take all that the shine off and dirty it up. So for this we're going to do some snakebite leather contrast, and I don't want to put it on very thick. I just want to kind of use it as a wash and bring that color down, kind of mute the orangish color a little bit, and then also take that shine off. I don't know if you can really tell, but washing it in that snakebite leather contrast, it really dulled that paint down. Let me try to zoom in. It really dulled down that gold. Kinda aged it a bit. Looks good. Looks like it's dirty. I just need to go through and highlight it and, you know, put in some scratches, hit the edges, because I want it to stay looking pretty dirty. All right, on to highlights. I'm gonna go through and highlight all of the gold trim with Runelord brass. And I'm just gonna go through and just do little dings and nicks or scratch down through the tarnished outer layer. Okay, so we got the details covered here. I went ahead and did the bone protrusions. I just did those with a base of Wraithbone. And then I washed them in Skeleton Horde contrast. Well, painted them in Skeleton Horde contrast. And then I used Screaming Skull and just highlighted up the bone. So now I'm going to apply a decal to the shoulder pad. Get this on there. Maybe. Put some water on the shoulder pad. Easier to put it on laying down, I think. Now I'm going to use a little bit of Microset solution to just kind of dissolve it on there. A warning, if you're going to use any Microsol or Microset solution with your decals, make sure you put down a coat of gloss varnish over your contrast paint, because those will, I know the Microsol definitely will, and I'm betting the Microset will. They'll strip that contrast paint right off your base coat. So you have to make sure you put down a gloss varnish and then put your decals on there. Otherwise you'll be repainting. Okay, so we're finished with the Night Lord. And I think he turned out very, very well. Focus a little bit. I'm happy with the colors and the blue, that Leviathan blue has a nice color, lays down very good. I did 2 coats to make it this dark, but I thinned it down a little bit too, so. Yeah, I enjoyed this. This turned out to be a very, very cool looking model. One problem I had was with the decal. Just putting the Microsol wasn't totally dry, and I tried to put some gloss coat on it, and it like gelled up and thickened up on me. So I had to wait for that to clean that off, waited for it to dry, and then went ahead and applied some gloss varnish on that, and then I sprayed it all with some matte varnish. So, alright. Thanks again for watching. I'm Jason, this is Level Up Hobbies. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe down below if you haven't already. And then go ahead and smash that bell icon so you can be notified whenever I drop some new videos. Build, paint, and play games. Alright guys, have a good day.